Here he is again, guys. The man, the myth, the doofus. Here with a, a video title that I can debunk without even watching the video. But let's watch the video anyway, because let's see if the title is accurate. Oh man.
A Russian scientist injected himself with this ancient bacteria to see what would happen. Dr. Anatoly Brushkov discovered bacteria deep within the permafrost of Siberia that was 3.5 million years old, and somehow it was still alive. It was named...
Okay. So, first off, I would like to get out of the way that bacteria tend to be very, very, very uber specific on what they actually are capable of doing. Any microorganism tends to be very, very specific in what they can do, because to be good at something, you have to be bad at something else, evolutionarily speaking. So, say you're... So, let's take tardigrades as an example. If you don't know what tardigrades are, they're sometimes called water bears. And what they're known for is being super incredibly hard to kill. But the thing is that they tend to be only super hard to kill in one specific aspect. So one tardigrade may be able to survive in the vacuum of space, but can't hold up to being burned. But one may be able to survive being burned at like 10 million degrees, but if they experience even a little bit of cold, they might die. If that makes sense to you, think about that, but think about if something has been alive for that much time, they either need to be virtually, they either need to have some way of surviving that long, or they need to have some way of procreating for that long. And bacteria tend to procreate in a sort of... what's the word? Parasitic way. So, many bacteria, what they do is and this may be all bacteria, I'm not sure if it's a defining trait of bacteria, all I know is many bacteria are like this. But many bacteria, what they do to procreate is they will go into a multicellular organism's body, and they will set up that body to create more of the bacteria. So they kind of jerry-rig their target's body to procreate for them. And so the likelihood of these bacteria, which have been kind of locked into the ice for millions of years, the likelihood of them being able to do that is very slim. So I'd be willing to hazard a guess that they do something similar to what some forms of tardigrade do, and they go into a sort of suspended animation. Think like sci-fi, like cryo-freezing. You know how, like, in sci-fi, they'll, like, freeze a person's body to make it last for way longer than it should, and it kind of goes dormant. That's what we're talking about here. And if they're able to do that, they must be worse at pretty much everything else, including infecting things. So, even given, I'm not even talking about the whole other reason why this would be completely unlikely that it would do anything to a human, which I'll get to later. But these bacteria must be complete garbage at infecting things in the first place.
Bacillus F, and after doing some experiments on it, he realized the bacteria not only seemed to be immune to aging, but also appeared to have a life-extending effect on almost every organism it touched. Dr. Brushkov was so convinced, he said, "F*** it," and
okay, that's not how literally anything works. You don't take medicine and then all of a sudden you can, like, take somebody's skin and fucking feed it to somebody else and it has the effect of that medicine. That's not how that works. At all. Something that has de-aging properties for itself likely will not give de-aging properties to whatever consumes it. That's not how reality works. Secondarily, even if it did, you would need to have massive, massive amounts of this bacteria for that to work. Lastly, thirdly, the only way that could possibly work is if, like I said earlier, the bacteria used you to make more of itself, but that wouldn't be making you less susceptible to aging. That would make the new rogue bacteria less susceptible to aging, not you. That's not how that works at all, in any sense.
Injected himself with the ancient bacterium to test it out firsthand. 2 years later, he reported dramatic improvements to his general health, claiming to need less sleep, working longer hours, and just having more energy in his day-to-day life. And
okay, that doesn't mean he's stopped or reversed aging at all. Like, at all. That's not what that means. It means he got better, which could have happened for a number of reasons. Doesn't necessarily mean the bacteria did anything.
Sure, Big Pharma loves the idea of a miracle life potion that would potentially lose them billions of dollars a year in revenue. So
here we go, othering somebody for, like, to back up non-existent ideas. Like, dude, just say that the only reason these are compelling is because of your distrust, man. Lastly, the chances of a bacteria like that, doing literally anything beneficial or harmful to a human being, after 3.5, I think he said, million years. Like I said, bacteria tend to be hyper-specific on what they can do, and that includes their targets. The targets that they would have affected 3.5 million years ago likely either went extinct or they have evolved so much that they are not valid targets anymore. So the likelihood of this bacteria doing literally anything to any human being or any living animal to this day at all are slim at best. Like, all you have to have is just a little bit of prior knowledge, man, to debunk this shit. Anyways, bye. I'm not finishing this video.